What a day to be alive. I love winter. I wouldn't change this for anything.
January has given us some tough but beautiful moments. And the house has done the same.
Pitäisikö perustaa hiirenpiilotusyritys? Pitääkö tää laittaa simpi?
So let's take a better look of it all.
Hello, it's Tuesday, the 2nd of January, and we're going to the plot. We've been away from there for a while, and now we should continue with the floors. And yeah, I don't know how this will go because my phone said that it's minus 24 degrees Celsius right now, and underneath there's always the small print which says how it actually feels like, and it says it feels like minus 33 degrees Celsius right now. So I'm not sure how long we'll be able to work there, or if we'll be able to work there at all, because there is not a single spot that's warm. And the batteries of our saw and drill, they seem to be slowing down when it's very cold, and also the drinking water freezes in our bottles. So yeah, it's not gonna be a long working day, but at least we're trying and we're doing something, and that's always the most important thing. But let's see how this goes. It gets a bit tricky to renovate during winter because the thick layers are so uncomfortable to move in, but that's what you gotta do if you're gonna survive here. So I have merino wool socks, then I'm gonna be putting on wool socks, like high ones, and then of course the winter work boots. Then I have these long johns and long sleeves shirt. They have kind of like a thin fleece layer on the inside. Then I'm gonna be wearing thick fleece pants, a thick woolen shirt, and then this one around my neck because when I get sweaty I don't like to feel that color. And then huge winter pants and a huge winter coat. And a thick beanie with a fleece layer there. And these are always a problem because obviously I can't wear 3 layers of gloves because I can't work with those. So I will be freezing from my fingers, but that's just what we have to deal with. I'm ready.
So the day came. We are building the floors. The building of the floors started here in the middle room, with what else than a problem. The beam that is supporting the whole floor here in the middle of the room needs to be attached to something, but the problem is that on the other wall there's nothing but dirt to attach the beam to. So I decided to ask for help. We were guided to build this U-shaped support that we could hang an extra beam into that would eventually support the structural beam in the middle. I have been talking about this before, but asking around is always a bit tricky because no matter who you ask, the advice is going to be different. For example, we have been told to use nails because screws might break up, and screws because nails might loosen up.
Yes!
So, just to be sure, we have decided to use them both. And so far so good, because the first beam found its place. time to go home.
I was just about to start filming for this video, but I realized that the woolen shirt that I really wanted to wear, I remembered it's still outside and it has been there for a few days. So, change of plans. I'm gonna show you how we clean woolen things here in Finland.
A snow wash was and still is a very traditional way of cleaning things in Finland in the winter. I still remember so clearly just how fresh the whole house smelled like in my childhood after a cleaning day, when we took all of the rugs outside and brushed them with snow. And the same method works wonders on woolen clothes. I buy almost all of my clothes second-hand, and I always freeze all of them before I wash them. But for woolen clothes I'm just too lazy to do hand wash. So I just threw this outside on a crispy winter day, and after a little snow wash, it's fresh as ever.
This is Rollo. She is our 13 plus a few months old lady. Käypä siihen niin, että yritsi katsoa sun kyllyä tuolta kamerasta. Hyvä. Hyvä. Okay, so we are on our way with the floors. I always knew that the floors are gonna be the first biggest building project and also one of the most crucial. Building something of wood was something that neither of us has never done before. So that has been like a wild dream in a distance for me for a long time. The most difficult part is the beginning, and we have become fully aware of that. A good example is that we were at the plot for I think 4 or 5, probably 4 hours, and we got one beam on its place. It was in the corner next to a wall, so we had to figure out what to do with the space between the first beam and the wall. Yeah, we have given up on any deadlines. We are basically just living in this apartment until we get something finished on the house so that we could move in there and continue with the work. We don't know when we're gonna move in, if we're gonna move in, if somebody else is gonna move in to the house, or if we're gonna ever finish this project. But that's just the fact that we have had to learn how to live with for the past 3 years. Everything is so uncertain, but yeah, we are just working and seeing where it leads. There's not much else left to be done here.
The beginning of January was so cold, but we just had to continue with the work, because if we're gonna wait for a perfect weather, it might never come.
Piiloudu.
The next step was to attach some beams on the walls. On them we're gonna support the beams that go across the room. But these old walls, of course, didn't make the job as straightforward. Before we could start, we had to remove this bulge on the wall.
Oi! Etsi linssi. Pitäisikö perustaa hiirenpiilotusyritys? Me voidaan tarjota niitä halpoja vaihtoehtoja. Mietin niitä, jotka tehdään.
No, mutta nekin on pieni, mitä ne on oikein välillä siihen.
Oikein tekniikka.
Se ei oo.
While we are moving on with the renovation and at last building these floors, it all doesn't seem real.
Näyttää ihan vinoille, kun tuo hirsi on.
Even though I've waited for 2 years to achieve this milestone, I can't help but peer further into the future and just prepare for what's coming next. Whenever I realize just how much there is still left to be done, I feel my guts turn inside out. Are we gonna pull this off?
Wow.
The reality is, no one knows. The sucky part of life is that no one is here to give us right answers.
En tiedä, pitääkö tää laittaa niinku tuohon, onko sillä väliä, en simpin tiedä. Ainoa homma, joka etenee nopeasti. Miksi tää ei tarkenna? Niin hieno tilanne ohi. Hello.
The uncertainty comes and goes. But whenever it hits me, I know that the best option to calm my nerves is to go out and have some room for my thoughts to settle. Every time I wonder why it is so hard to stop and just be in the present. Sometimes when I feel stressed, I just look down at my hands and try to remind myself that I'm right here, in the skin, with these bones. I don't have to be in the future. I can't redo the past. And that this moment too, it will be gone in just a second. So maybe right here, it's just perfect.
The light keeps getting better and better here, but my toes are absolutely dead. They're always the first ones to leave me. I have these like heating bags in my
gloves that I use on the plat when we renovate in this type of weather. But I can't put those on my shoes because they get so tight that they don't get any oxygen, these bags, so they don't work. What I love about this time of the day when the sun is setting, you look here, it's golden and red and orange, and when you look over there, there's blue and pink and purple. What a day to be alive. Tomorrow it's Sunday, so we're gonna head to the plat and continue with the floors. After that the temperature is gonna go up, so this is probably the last day as cold as this for a while, which I'm pretty sad about, but it makes things so much easier on our house. So I accept the weather as it is, but I love winter. I wouldn't change this for anything. All right. I don't want to leave. The beginning is always a bit sticky, but in this case, the stickiness hasn't fully disappeared yet. I swear somebody keeps adding centimeters into these beams, because if I measure 3 centimeters, cut away 3 centimeters, walk back with the beam, suddenly 2 centimeters has appeared on top of the 3. This does not make sense to me.
Kaikki nuo rivet tulee pois tuolta välistä, että tuu hyödyllistä. Tänne ei mahu niinku yhtään yhtä rivettä.
Se koittaa leikata sitä tuolla.
Miten sä leikkasit tuon siis?
Minä olen leikkaamaan sen.
That's the life with these janky walls. We just gotta do our best. On behalf of us and this crappy house, thank you for all the new subscribers and all the comments on my last video. I'll be seeing you again next month.